key player. But if someone's going to be able to get over it, it will be a player like Forest.
Yeah, I mean, the shock and awe of even making it to the stage overall. I mean, Jacob, we watched the video here. We heard what NiP had to say. What was your takeaway on that?
I mean, I think they're confident. I think they know their own limits. I think they know that they're the underdog going into this Astralis matchup. So they don't necessarily expect themselves to win this game. But I think that's where NiP is the most dangerous team in the world to face. When there's no expectations towards them, where they can play free. As GetRight said as well, they like to bring in a sort of chaos style of Counter-Strike. If guys like Dennis, Forest, and Lekro let loose, Resh for that matter as well, probably the most talented guy on this team, gets loose and gets feeling for the game, that's going to be tough for every single team in the world to stop. So I fear for Astralis that if NiPs get going, this could be a dangerous matchup.
Look, there's one thing that GetRight said that I don't know if I completely agree with. There's only so many hours in a day, and I don't think Astralis practice any more than anybody else. Exactly. I just think they're a lot more efficient with their practice time.
Do you think that practice time was also put into the prep of the veto process? Because we got to look at the maps, boys. This is a best of 3 to determine who's going on to the semi.
Now, if you talk about NiP, their map pool is so shallow. I feel like there's so many openings here for Astralis to be able to punish them on. Now, yeah, okay, so Astralis have looked kind of weak on Mirage, and their overpass hasn't been towards the top of the map pool recently.
Okay.
But they can just exploit NiP's map pool for days, right? If they want to go on Nuke, they can go on Nuke. Well, they don't want to go on Nuke. Nuke's gone. Keish was going to be the permaban from Astralis right here. Now, where are you going to go? I'd pick Inferno or Dust 2. That'd be my pick if I was Astralis.
For sure. Dust 2, a map NiP doesn't play, so that makes sense if they do that. And there we go. It becomes Dust 2. Mirage coming in from NiP, that makes sense. We have seen Astralis struggle on that map, not only against Renegade, but historically, Mirage has really been the map where you want to go to against Astralis if you want a chance of getting a map. So it makes sense so far. As for third map, I mean, as long as it's not Inferno, I think NiP can be happy. Overpass would be one of the maps that I think is actually open for discussion.
I think it really has to go to Overpass. If you're looking at map pool and depth, it kind of has to bring it there. It is. It's Overpass. I mean, what would you know, Chad?
So if Mirage does not go in the favor of NiP, this is a 2-0. That's the fact of the matter here. You know, I love saying that, and that's the
Dash
case.
Chad Burchill, everyone. Dash Chad Burchill. He's on to something, though. Astralis are no strangers to winning, and, well, these guys have every tool that they need within their shed there to make it happen. Now, the map veto, we're already giving a favor.
It almost feels like, you know, a 1-0 instantly to Astralis regardless, right? But NiP, if they take the fight on Mirage, if they're able to, you know, just lock out... Look, the CT side of Astralis is great. The T side is where, you know, it's weak because the map's being figured out. How many executes can you do? We've seen A executes, B executes, mid-control, splits, everything. So that's the problem, right? There's not much depth.
So one of the interesting storylines coming into this matchup is obviously Astralis being this huge favorite. They are supposed to win this one. They're supposed to win 2-0 even. Let's see if their Mirage is involved. Let's see if they learn from that mistake against Renegades, because they're going to face an MIBR in a potential semifinal. And if that Mirage is weak, I mean, MIBR is definitely smelling blood. Yeah,
and the blood smell, it's not a sweet one, but you got to capitalize on it. And you know what? Now we're going to capitalize on the fact that the entire Spodek has been waiting for this moment. It's time to start jumping into this next quarterfinal, and to do that, it's going to be Oliver on the stage. You might know him as OJ, and this guy knows how to bring the ruckus.
Thank you very much, Stunner, you beautiful human being, because yes, we are here ready for our second quarterfinal on the second day in this beautiful concrete spaceship they call the Spodek, and it is great to be here. Baby, have we got a quarterfinal with you. Before we introduce the teams, I think it's always good to look at what they're playing for. It's the main part of $1 million prize, but also to lift this trophy. And if you look at the names on the trophy, not only is it a history of esports, it's all a history of the teams and the games as well. But it's 2019, CSGO is the big esports on the planet, so let us have our second quarterfinal to find out who is going to face MIBR in that semi tomorrow. So please welcome to the stage, we've heard the chants already, and that is NiP! We know they're underdogs, but we also know that they can bite. We know they can, and they're going to have to take on what has been the most dominant team in the world for a while now. You wouldn't bet against them. Every now and again they have a slip up, but it is so rare. Fresh from kicking the back doors in, from winning the Grand Slam, it's Astralis! From 1 to 5, they are absolute monsters. But this is where we find out who is going to go place in that semi-final. So then, everyone here in Katowice, in the Spodek, who's going to win this? Is it Astralis? Is it NiP? Is it Astralis? Will it be NiP? Let's do a quarterfinal, baby!
And the looniest of tunes being OJ himself. But in this regard, it's going to be the Ninjas of Pajamas taking on that of Astralis. Now the wink coming through very strong, as you can see. And, well, this guy's no stranger to the camera. But rather than just winking at the camera, I think that the Ninjas of Pajamas have got to step it up big here.
Let's talk win conditions for NiP, right? You have these individuals on the team. You have Forrest, you have Resh, you have Dennis, and I think Dennis is the one that needs to step up the most. He's been a little bit absent from NiP this tournament. He hasn't really had the best one. That said, though, in the last best of 3 that made them into the quarterfinal, he was looking like his old self. Let's not forget that Dennis also has a little bit of history with Astralis. He was standing in for them more than a year ago, where he was playing some of the most beautiful Counter-Strike I have ever seen played by a single player. So Dennis has the skill to go toe-to-toe against Astralis. Question is, can he do it?
Sure, you say Dennis. I actually think it's Rez. When you look at all the close matches that these teams have had, or ones where the guys from NiP have actually been able to get victories, Rez has been in the top 2 stat lines. Now, that would have to be across the series. I'm thinking on Mirage. Lekro is the one, if I remember back to the London Major, he had a massive game against Astralis. I think it went to overtime. It was just an absolute affair. So he needs to show up yet again and lead by example. We know what to expect from Forrest. We know what to expect from Get Right. But here's the thing that we really need to reiterate. You can see how much they're embracing this right now.
Yeah.
These are the guys, I don't care if you can do it at home in your bedroom.
Okay.
The world cares if you can do it on a big stage, and these players have proven that. So this is why there is always that chance. If they come out red hot here, if they come out confident, they have nothing to lose going against the world's best. NiP definitely have a shot if they get off to a good start.
And you know what, Chad? I think you touched on a very important point there. I mean, this is the big stage. This is where all the eyes are watching. You can see Astralis getting fired up. And for the Ninjas in Pajamas and Astralis, this dream could quickly turn from a nightmare into reality. Both teams fighting for a lifeline here because, believe it or not, yes, Astralis heavy-handedly the favorite, but there's still a chance, Chad. We can't write it off.
Yeah, and the AWP isn't going to be the factor there. I've taken some stats from the Legend stage trace of NiP, and you can see that the AWP spread here. You have 0 kills for Garrett on the AWP, 4 for Forrest, 4 for Rez, 8 for Dennis, and 19 for Lekro. They don't need a star AWPer to get to this point in the tournament, and I don't think that's going to be an influential factor for them here in this series either.
Well, you can have some influence yourself by using hashtag Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel. That's right. Go ahead and get it in, and let's find out what plays you want us to review here right on the desk. Go ahead and use that hashtag Game Fuel Power Play, because we are certainly going to be taking a look at that throughout the duration of this series. The Ninjas in Pajamas and Astralis now having taken to the stage, trying to get that final sip of hydration. And Jacob, in this moment, what do you say to yourself?
I mean, you're Astralis. You're the best team in the world. You have potentially one of, if not the best player in the world in Device. You tried this so many times before. Astralis have a history of failing against NiP. Cluj Poker 2015, they were the huge favorite to win the entire tournament, just like today, but they fell short against NiP, who back then weren't really considered one of the best teams either. So they have history. They need to knock that out of their heads. They need to show the world that they're the best team in the world and do it with style.
There's only a few players in the world who have ever won 3 majors, and all of them are actually Swedish. So the Danes, we have the core of that roster have won 2. They're going to be in the chase for the 3rd here, and the quarterfinals start now. I'm sure they're going to be hungry for that one. We saw in an interview with them earlier in the tournament that they wanted to win both majors this year. That's more than a statement. The Intel Grand Slam, both majors, the dominance, if they can continue this form, if they can continue to deliver fresh Counter-Strike, new ideas, and performing pound for pound in their roles as the best players in the world, this is more than a dominance. This is more than an era. This is... I don't have words.
I mean, at what point, Chad, do they win so much that they might even start to turn into a villain?
Well, look, I think a lot of people are calling what they see on the screen from Astralis boring Counter-Strike. Those people are wrong. This is beautiful Counter-Strike. And sure, maybe they need to become the villain. Maybe everybody needs to be, putting more emphasis on trying to take these guys down, not giving them the good guy card as much longer. But Astralis, someone needs to prove that they can beat them, and I don't know who it is, and I don't know if it's going to be NiP today.
Well, it's not going to be Liquid either, because they're already out of it. But Ninjas in Pajamas also having to step up to the plate here in a big way. Jacob, how's it going to go down, big series-wise?
I mean, I think, as said, I think it's going to be a close matchup. I think these two teams have so much experience, so much history, that regardless of how much skill difference there may be in the server, it's going to be close. It's going to be tense. There's going to be a lot of crucial moments, a lot of clutch scenarios. You're going to see Xyp9x winning them. You're going to see Get Right coming with some vintage plays. You're going to see all these stars perform on the biggest stage in the world here in Katowice. I think this one is going to go down to the narrow, but there's no doubt that Astralis are the heavy favorites.
That's right. Vintage Forest has been out in full form here in Katowice so far, but they've got a long way to go, starting with Astralis here in what is a quarterfinal best of 3 in front of the entire Spodek. You have all been very, very awesome, and I'm going to need you to make a little bit of noise now as we jump into this pistol round on the first map of Mirage. Astralis versus the Ninjas of Pajamas, delivered to you by Jason O'Toole and Moses.
And Vince Hill. Vince Hill is here as well. What's going on, Spodek? Astralis NiP, this last quarterfinals of IEM Katowice. NiP, a huge task to do, but what better players to do it with? Forest and Get Right experiencing what you can only describe as rolling back the years. A phenomenal tournament coming into this pistol round. They're going to start on the T side. And here we go, going to get into it right away. 3-man stack for Astralis over towards that B bomb site. That run boost is going to force Magic Bass just a little bit. How much is he going to peak? Get Right leading the way.
Already made so many inroads though, but it's dupreeh that's going to claim the first kill of this matchup. Glaive holds the line with 2 1-taps, and that's the bomb going down with it. He's going to be able to pick up the third, and Astralis off with a bang.
Yeah, that was so nice, but that strategy from NiP destined to fail, and Glaive trying to get the crowd going. It's pretty split. We know that NiP, their history in this building, a lot of the fans have appreciated that. Those legendary performances, we've seen those legendary players. They've been cheering on the equivalents of the Polish teams so long. But such a stack at the B bomb site for Astralis and NiP, there was no way they were going to make inroads. When those smokes go down on catwalk and you have to go through them yourself. Boos and cheers now. No investment from NiP in the second round.
Crowd certainly seemed divided on the approach. Obviously, NiP, a story team with many veterans, many fans out there. Glaive, hot off the back of a 3K in the first round, looking to try and apply some pressure with the M4, but it's the FAMAS that's going to be called into action. Device, reading the situation, just a little bit delayed and does take a headshot, but there is Rez jumping up to his demise. And Astralis should be locking this round down. Minimal investment from NiP. Easy in the end for the Danes.
Yeah, and just the utility to finish it off, the capstone, perhaps the foundation of a lot of this Astralis team's success. So good with their nade work. Only 1 kill coming out from the Ninjas, that's Lekro. On to dupreeh in the pistol. 2-0, but the AKs come out for the Swedish side. Still 2 UMPs on Astralis. You imagine they would try and get close up towards choke points. Xyp9x will have his towards the B bomb site, as we all know.
To be feeling out mid once again. Expecting this to be a bit of a reoccurring theme, of course, is such an integral part of Mirage. Gives you control over different angles, but Rez, for the first time, NiP have the opening pick in this best of 3. What can they do off the back of it? Lekro taking some damage in the backside. I believe that was actually from his teammate.
Yeah, it was. And actually, NiP with that 1 pick, look how much ground they've gained so quickly. Immediately Get Right and Lekro pick up the pace. Get control of Connector. On the back foot is this Astralis defense. They're going to go hunting for more. Glaive spots 1. He wants to finish off that kill, and he's going to get it. Awkward fight for Lekro, and now Get Right gets caught by Xyp9x. Didn't think that rotation would have been in, so NiP have bled away that lead of 1 player. Rez is the next one up, holding an aggressive angle towards the B bomb site, but he's going to be aware. They might think, because Xyp9x rotated away to cover window, that he was going to leave the B bomb site open. dupreeh is there waiting. And now Glaive gets aggressive. A huge stance in mid. Rez, he can be heard here. Forrest with a big kill. Now Rez turns into a flank. Glaive and Connector. And Rez, he knows it. He's going to try and find this kill. He's got to open up that A bomb site. But it's a tough angle. Glaive's not looking. Big time frag for Rez. And A is available.
It's going to come down to the Clutchmeister himself. Mr. Xyp9x, what can he get done? He's already put down 1 frag, 25 seconds to go, but Forrest counteracts with 1 of his own. It's all down to the Clutcher. He's picked up another one, and now it's up to Rez to try and clutch his 1-on-1.
The Swede against the Dane. Zipnik's going to be coming around the corner, finds him with his pants down around his ankles, but not able to get the kill the first time. Astralis gets it on the second, and Astralis with a 4K from Zipnik's going to get the 3-0 lead.
That's crushing. 4 kills from Zipnik's. What a huge play. And Force, unfortunately, the low health, so susceptible to that spam from Zipnik's. Perfectly played once again. And he doesn't even get hype anymore. He doesn't even get excited. He's done it so many times. Another day in the office. A very promising round for NiP. They've at least gotten 4 kills. They've at least taken a lot of money away. But that one is gutting. Without the plant as well, NiP not wanting to invest in this round. Just armor deagles. Only one flashbang, and there it is! Lekro makes it sing.
They're going to need many more of those, though, Jason, if they want to try and take this round out of Astralis' hands. Huge advantage in terms of nades still, plus weaponry. Phenomenal start to the round, though, from Lekro. He is certainly a beast with the Desert Eagle.
That's back-to-back rounds now. NiP has started with the opening kill. They weren't able to convert on the first due to the Zipnik's heroics. And here they have an obstacle to overcome still. With only upgraded pistols to work with. But they can at least spread the defense thin. This time, Zipnik's is alone over at B. An off-angle on truck. Rez might back right into it. Another big kill for Lekro. Rez predicts it, and Zipnik's predicts the peak.
Lekro keeping NiP in this round single-handedly. Dennis not able to pick up from where his teammates left off.
Look at Force. Force is already in the A bomb site. He might be able to backstab. He needs this kill. He's not going to get it. Magisk with the response. 3 in the round for him. And so quickly, all the hope has drained away. It's just get right in a 1 versus 3. If he can find this kill, might be able to get into the bomb site. Some scary moments for Astralis, but they have recovered and handled those situations nicely.
And there was an avenue in, though, wasn't there, with the flank from Forest, and get right at the end. There's a player very low. Could have gone into a 1v1 very quickly, but instead, Astralis 4-0 in the lead. Crowd trying to get behind the Swedes. They do have a rifle round coming up. As the desk talked about, AWP hasn't really been an integral part of their T-halves. Will continue not to be in this one.
Not the biggest issue in the world as well, considering Device. Oh, that's a great Molotov and spam combo. Molotov to try and force Rez into the angle. A little bit of chip damage there, a little bit added on with the nade. Three players still just waiting outside of this A bomb site, but the big trouble for the Ninjas is full mid control for Astralis. Device was posted up in underpass from mid. Rifle there as well, so they realize no pressure coming from this. Magisk is going to rotate around. A big shift in the defense due to that information that no one from NiP is attacking that portion of the map. Smokes thrown out towards A. Trying to bait some utility. They've definitely baited Device into committing to this A bomb site. Same with Clave and Magisk. They're deep into it. It looks like this is going to be hit towards B, though. Lekro and Forrest likely going to throw some follow-up utility, just try and get one kill. They'll have to worry about that op from Device who can shut this fake down before it even begins.
Here come the players trying to draw out some more CTs on the A side of the map. They are positioned, poised, ready to strike on B. It has kept 3 players interested here for Astralis, and now the B hit is going to take effect. It's going to be evoked, but Zipnik's, as ever, holds the line with 1, making a second alongside Dupree, and this is an impenetrable defense on the CT side once again. Forrest can do nothing but look over the corpses of his teammates. And as good as he's been, this 1v5 would be absolutely ridiculous if he pulled it off. He's only got 7 seconds. It's not going to happen.
Not even close. Can't even find anyone to shoot at. Suffocating from Astralis. And again, it goes back to the utility. As soon as that fake is thrown, a smoke is dropped at A ramp, and that fake is going to accomplish nothing. That had to be NiP. Their hearts just sink when they see that smoke. And I think it's about time for a timeout. Maybe not in this round, as again, it's just going to be the pistols. But next round, that next buy round from NiP, they have to accomplish something. Something that can give them a little bit of positivity moving forward, because they haven't had too much. A couple close rounds, a couple opportunities created.
Especially considering this is their choice of map to start off in such a rough way. Gonna be shivers down the spine. All clumping up, looking for the A hit. Counter nades are solid. Chunk damage to Dennis, the only AK in play. Get Right has spotted Glaive hopping up and down on the CT boxes, but can't really do much with that info. And even if NiP do get the bomb plant, they've got max round loss bonus anyway. Astralis are fine with that result. However, not fine with Glaive going down without much of a fight. Aegis and Device, though, will instantly come back in with kills. And it's looking like this retake is going to be a success.
You can see such a beautiful shift in philosophy for Astralis in this round. Because the full losing bonus is in the favor of NiP, they know it's a bye next round no matter what. They don't care about the plant. Their objective is just to win the round without losing, with minimal losses, essentially. And only Glaive falling. I mean, playing outside of the bomb site, not letting those pistols overtake him. Get Right had to be so aggressive just to find that first kill. And no chance of him building upon it either.
Moving into the 7th round, Jason. Collectively, only 8 kills on NiP, hence the brimming economy on the side of Astralis.
Here we go. Attacking mid is Lekro. Dupree's gonna drop down. Molotov and Connector, no retreat. Nade goes deep. They're all blind, and Dupree's gonna go down. Another opening kill for Lekro and the Ninjas. But still, they have to do more, and Glaive's gonna try and return the favor immediately, but that's a very aggressive overextension. Doesn't want to sit there for too long. It's Magus behind the flames. Lekro's down to half. Looking for something, anything, hoping someone's gonna challenge him. He wants this fight.
Whereas last time it was Lekro opening things up with the Deagle, now they've got plenty of weapons behind it, now they've got some grenades. They have just tossed their last smoke into window. So it's only flashbangs, and Glaive gonna take this opportunity to start to move around, try and catch NiP in transition. They're still clumped up in mid, the bomb still dropped towards T. Spawn Res gonna be found by Glaive, and here comes Magisk. Excellent frags from Astralis, putting themselves back into the advantageous position.
That's so sick. Glaive is going to be doing that all day long. You can see he's not afraid to take those risks. A calculated push in B halls when they lose a player. So many bodies in mid. No one watching the B halls for NiP. Now you have Magus still aggressive in Connector. Get Right drops. The sound gives away his position, and the nade in his hand forfeits his life. And now Dennis, 0-6, needs to find the entry. Forrest has an op, and here comes Dennis over the top. He does find one towards CT spawn. There's an op, but Dennis now left in a 1 versus 3, and he's running out of health, and he's out of time as well. 7-0 for Astralis.
It doesn't make for good reading. Top fragger on NiP, Lekro with 4. Magisk and Zipnik's both on 10, to give you an idea of the disparity between the two teams. It has been every part as one-sided as the scoreline suggests.
NiP, even though they're getting the opening picks, they're having a really tough time with the follow-up aggression, having 2 players, or at least being able to trade that. Part of that is because, as you can see, Glaive getting aggressive, Magus being the aggressor and peeking down Connector. NiP's not ready to take those fights at the times that they occur, so only individual players falling, and Astralis claw themselves back into these rounds with ease. All 5 towards the B bomb site. This nade is going to do massive damage.
So should Zip next in a different angle, but Dennis is going to instantly trade him out. Now it's down to Dupree. What can he do with the Orc? He's able to relocate, look for seconds, and gets it. The pillar, his sanctuary. And none of NiP can really do much, but now Lekro is going to stand tall. A 2-on-2. One of the best opportunities that NiP have had on this half. And they'll be playing the close angles, but the bomb still hasn't been planted. They're still not entirely sure where Astralis are.
This is a tough scenario as well. There's the AUG from Magus. Forrest prompted to move right into the crosshair of Device. So patient is Astralis. Such a battle to even get in there. Dupree held the line for so long, and how are you supposed to overcome that when the reinforcements arrive finally? And if Lekro's the only one producing, it's not going to happen. Finally, we get a timeout from the Ninjas. They need to talk things over. It's their first. But 8 in a row, Vince. This is looking dire.
Another statistic that makes for very sore ears. In that 8 rounds, 1 plant.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's even with the full losing bonus. That's tough to handle. That extra $800 helps out so much. And again, I mean, you can see NiP might have to just go down to a half buy again with just Deagles with armor. They're just going to stack timeouts. A second one taken from NiP, feeling the pressure.
touch the cause that hold you back. Falling down, you get back up, 'cause you are own, and you're breaking through your rivals till they know you're a warrior. Walk through fire, try to keep your eyes closed, 'cause you want a lion silver for your own. Don't take liars when they're superimposed, 'cause they wanna raid your dreams when you're alone. Falling down, you get back up, 'cause you are own, and you're breaking through your rivals till they know you're a warrior.
You expect more of a half bite to come in, some pistols and a few smokes in play, but that's been pretty dire so far. That last round, I thought maybe there was a glimmer of hope. Blackroll got 2 entries, it was looking good, but then they stalled. They didn't get the bomb down, so the Astralis didn't have to move in. They could just wait until the bomb was planted.
And all the smokes had cleared. I think Forrest had a Molotov, chose not to use it in that scenario, not wanting to give away his aggressive position. Well, they've had, I believe, two timeouts to kind of really talk things over and try and figure out a plan. And Astralis obviously feeling no pressure.
Absolutely not. They have money in the bank. Accountant very happy with how things stand. Full grenades. Don't need to double up with a second AWP. Things have been going just fine. So, I mean, NiP would have to come back with 2 or 3 consecutive rounds just to break Astralis. Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's the real tough part, right? So much money is built up here. A lot of NiP signs in the crowd. A lot of NiP jerseys in the crowd. A lot of love, as we said, for this team. But that's not going to win you rounds.
Unfortunately not. Yesterday, it felt like the crowd were ENCE's 6th player, getting them across the finish line. But NiP have been unable to do much with the support so far. On the T side, of course, can always be rough, but you're expecting to at least get 5 or 6 rounds here.
So those timeouts turned into a technical pause as we work on some things. So Katowice, I want you to help us continue a tradition we've had in this arena. If everyone can pull out their cell phones, turn on the flashlights, let's make this place beautiful. We've done it every year. It always looks gorgeous. Get them up in the air. You guys have been fantastic. And when OJ says this is the house that esports built, it's because of all of you. We all appreciate it, and that is a gorgeous sight.
Truly a unique experience. What a phenomenal crowd this has been. And of course, we still got the semi-finals, the grand finals to come.
Yes, we really do. This is just the beginning, and we're back into the action. Thank you, Katowice. Here we go, 8-0 in the favor of the Danes. Magisk now behind the smoke, peering up towards top mid. He's gonna find the entry, he's gonna find the follow-up. NiP just simply cannot trade him. He is such a rock.
After all those timeouts, they still invested heavily. And it's completely backfired in the first 15 seconds. Zipnik's 137 ADR can add even more to that tally. Rez sent out the round, and Dennis, last Swede standing. Not for much longer.
Yeah, not for long at all. Device shuts that down. Nobody falls for Astralis. Vince, this is one of the most comprehensive, dominating performances I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit shocking. I mean, I don't know why, because Astralis obviously the best team in the world for a reason, but I guess we began to believe in the magic of all the upsets that we've had.
It might have ran out. 13 kills for NiP combined across all 5 players. Magisk has 13 himself, and Zipnix is up there with 12. They need to find something. They need to dig deep, find some of that magic. Something that's going to show us it's not done yet. Nade onto Dennis, close to the smoke.
Zipnix only with 1 death, too. Unbelievable. Dennis going to have to relocate, courtesy of that Molotov. And a smoke onto Connector may afford him a bit of luxury to move up. He's not sure if Catwalk is free. Obviously, we can see from our perspective it is. And now he's going to start to make a move into the Connector itself. Aegis positioned up on Tall Booth, looking for some stray headshots. Not going to find any. NiP somewhat split up, though.
They've had this connector position a couple times, and they haven't really been able to make anything come from it, because look how aggressive Astralis is retaking it. They know you're there. They're not going to let you sit and wait. Lekro with another kill, and he's the only one producing for NiP. Magisk with another quad kill in the round. Now 3 more kills on Magisk than the entire Ninja's team.
Flawless counter-strike from Astralis. Another round goes their way very comfortably. Smiles on the faces of the Danes. And another timeout has been called.
You have to burn them, and it's got to be tough to kind of swallow your pride and make that happen. But if you're NiP, you need something. You need some. I mean, you have no rounds. That's just down to it. You need some kind of a buffer for the second half. So burn all your timeouts in the first half if you need to. Even if it's just for the 1 round, it's worth it. And as you mentioned, so much money, so much economy now built up for the Danes. This seems insurmountable.
Yes, it's not just the scoreline, it's the manner in which they've got here that is the truly terrifying aspect of this performance. A performance that will have the rest of the teams looking over their shoulders and thinking, oh no, Astralis are here. They're not taking any prisoners. Bit of chip damage across the Device and Lekro. But Dupree, with the smoke, is able to pierce straight across the mids. That's information, control. It's going to be a slow round again, maybe trying to draw out some of these nades from Astralis, but they've been very good when it comes to their economy and their utility management.
Yeah, as they always are, and look at these fights. I mean, no one's even shooting at Dupree. He's got so much freedom, and he just feels so comfortable to stand there. Zipnix controls bench, and again, it might be a flawless round for Astralis. Lekro swings out wide with an AK, but he hasn't been able to get into the action for it. Astralis making this so difficult to find a single player, to find a single chance, a single hope.
Astralis are where dreams go to die. On NiP's choice of map, they have been sublime. Put very few feet wrong. Just constricting NiP. They're just choking them out. They can't get any room.
They've only been really put into their, put under the pressure and kind of forced out of their comfort zone twice, and they were both very early on. One is that 2-on-2, or that 2-on-1 it came down to. Zipnix able to clutch it out with 4 kills total. Magisk now going to get aggressive. He can do no wrong. How's he? Oh, that's Glaive above. And now the A bomb site is open. NiP must have this round. This entire map falls here.
Red's one of the players that you're really looking at from NiP to deliver. Bomb planted very quickly. There is a rotation though. Dupree's making a move from the T-spawn. They need to be very cognizant of this. He could be the linchpin. He could be the player that gets this back in Astralis' hands once again. Another chance may go begging. Rez holding on CT side. Forrest going to come up against Dupree. Oh, and he's given his position away and gives his head away as well. Dupree finds it, perforates him, riddles him with bullets, and NiP are being slumped over once again. Get right stuck in shadow, can only do the one kill, and Astralis will get another defuse, like in another round.
The shadows betraying Forrest. He sees it coming from Dupree. Just shoots a little too early. And that was the best chance NiP had, and it slips out of their grasp. Or should I say, it's ripped away from them again by Astralis. Not messing around whatsoever. And what can you do? 12-0 now for Astralis.
I think Get Right's reaction says it all, really. Frustration. Device, though, going to be pressured by multiple angles, but still going to find Lekr0 all the same.
Dupree almost had a chance to get one more. Get Right's in a great position. He needs that kill, but Dupree's going to follow it up, and Get Right does go down. Glaive actually wins that out. Get Right missed his chance. Now just down to 2. And if you didn't catch it, Device opens that up with the all-pick. The Molotov he drops on the floor of window room, creates a gap in the smoke. And he's so patient to find his chance, his opportunity. This door has slammed shut on the Ninjas. It's about to be 13-0, as Astralis is just so incredibly on point.
Rez, last Swede standing once again. 1 on 5, bomb dropped, 50 seconds. To try and pull off one of the best plays that we'll likely ever see if he gets it done, and it won't happen. Astralis 13-0.
What can you really say about this one, Vince? We'll see if NiP can scrape together these last 2 rounds. It's not going to be easy, as nothing has been. Even just getting kills in this game has been a labored effort for the Ninjas. They're buying up what they can, trying to save just as much money as possible while still having a dangerous round here. They want that last round to be AK-47s. No one wants to get blanked on this stage. Device again, patient, Magisk again, and Connector. This time the SMGs do some work. They're so mobile. They found some entries, but it closes so quickly. Astralis knowing exactly when and where they need to collapse on this attack, and Rez has no HP to fight with. A team ace for Astralis. I think that might be their 3rd or 4th of this half. They are firing on all cylinders, and what a scary sight to see.
NiP head in hands. At least Rez has a bit of a wry smile on his face. I mean, this has to be up there as one of the best Astralis performances I've ever seen.
It's been pretty nasty, hasn't it? I mean, there's been a lot of good Astralis, so it's I mean, good performances from Astralis, so it's kind of easy to forget all of them. But certainly, at this stage in a tournament, for a team that looked like they could be dangerous, that has been dangerous historically for this team, that has brought them to the limit a couple times in events over the past 4 months, 5 months. It is a pretty shocking result, even with Astralis being the overwhelming favorites, 14-0. And those tell you everything you need to know. Forrest, Get Right, and Dennis combining for 7 kills. Magisk still equaling the total of all 5 NiP players.
Glaive gonna have no chill, ruthless aggression. The flashbang will at least alleviate some of the pressure that was building in mid. I think Lekr0 just saw the head protruding over the top into ladder rooms. A bit of information has been gathered, but time and time again, NiP have got into this sort of position. Hasn't worked out for them. Flashbang. Magisk, of course, still lands the kill. And we're looking like we could be heading to a 15-0 halftime score. It's down to Dennis and Lekr0 to stop that statistic from becoming a reality. And Dennis has found himself 2 in this round. He doesn't have control of the bomb, though. It's back towards Palace.
Now he's clear out spawn. That might give him the indication that a flank is coming in. He's going to try and clear towards mid. It's Dupree there, flashbang over, almost lands those shots, just the blind ones. Still hasn't even looked towards A ramp. Zipnix is already up it. He's going to go for a safe plant. He will get this down, but he's going to be trapped behind these boxes. He needs to come up with some heroics. That grenade gives it away, and Zipnix has the angle. He steps right into it. 15-0 for Astralis.
Well, Astralis did it against Cloud9, didn't they? They got the 16-0 on Train.
2 in a major.
Could we see them double it up? This would be a lot more impressive, of course, at the playoff stage.
Well, we need villains, the Death said. They said maybe Astralis is going to be those villains, and 15-0. They have a dominant lead. An almost insurmountable comeback ahead of the Ninjas. We'll see if they can do it when we return from the break.
On my own, when you spill that rum and coke on my t-shirt, yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high-pitched feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby, you make me feel something.
Astralis laughing their way to a 15-0 lead over NiP in that first half, and there's not a whole lot to say. This could be their second 16-0 victory of this major in this tournament run that they've had. And if you're NiP, you're just kind of fighting to have something to be happy about going into the second map.
Yeah, it certainly feels like they're playing for pride to some extent at this stage. Maybe their CT side can yield something special. Astralis in prime position. Lekro's gonna have to try and hold the line all by his lonesome. And the Sentinel has been bested. Forest in the meanwhile gonna get flashbanged. Able to at least take Glaive with him, but Rez, he's playing this one so slowly. He is waiting for as many terrorists to push past him as possible, but in doing so, he's baiting the rest of his teammates. Can he feasibly stop this from getting done? Oh, he's picked up two, looking for a third, lands it onto the bench as well. Can't get the fourth, as Magus does, but there's Forest. I thought Rez had baited too hard, but he pulls it back.
That is all aces from Forest, standing up and cheering, getting the crowd on their feet as well. You're exactly right. That is a very fine line to ride if you're Rez. Device getting such advanced position, and maybe his teammates getting caught unawares, but he recovers nicely with a couple kills. And that's all you can really do, is smile in this kind of a situation. And I think NiP even just called their final timeout to let the crowd and the NiP fans really soak it in.
No 16-0, Jason. That is important. One round at a time. In terms of firepower, going to have a huge advantage. If they're going to get it done, it has to be brick by brick.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can really do. That's kind of what you have to focus on. If you're NiP, is just one round at a time, but they've got 14 more to go. I can't imagine there's been a whole lot of 15-0, 0-15 comebacks.
Certainly not at a major against the world's best team. This would be...
Yeah, that too.
Many plaudits, many achievements all in one, if they could do it. But as you say, Astralis have such a huge advantage. It's great to see them smiling still.
Maybe not for much longer. Here we go. Device with the one deagle. Astralis with such a massive lead, playing the economy in a conservative fashion, not investing into anything. Now, interestingly enough, we'll just kind of go down this line of thought just because it's, I mean, what else do we have to talk about at this point? But if you remember, Astralis did have, what, a 12-3 lead over Renegades in the group stages, or in the Legend stage. And Renegades was able to pull that back and force overtime. So there has been a small bit of weakness shown at times, but certainly 15-0 is insurmountable. Device is going to get that opening kill with the deagle. And you'd hope they can stop the bleeding. That's the only upgraded weapon, only piece of danger Astralis has.
Device may find more. Dennis playing anti-flash. Gonna have Forest there with him too. He's already made a move round. Some damage is being inflicted. But Forest and Dennis stand tall. 3 players now gonna be forcing their nefarious intent towards the B side, and it's down to Lekro to try and fend them off, and he'll do it just fine. NiP double up, get their second round.
Well, here we go. AK is coming out for the Astralis side on this attack. Can NiP continue this any longer? You do have to say, in this scenario, I mean, guys like Dennis, Force, and Get Right, there's not a whole lot of players more experienced than them. So, I mean, if you're going to want anyone next to you when you go between maps to discuss this loss, you'll want those guys who can bring a positive energy. Deep Molotov in towards B is going to delay things just a bit. All 5 members of Astralis are here, so they're just going to try and overrun Lekro. He's got Dennis rotating back right now, but here it comes. Is Dennis going to be here in time? Lekro's blind. He's backing away. They've gained some ground. Dennis with 2, and now Lekro inside the site can't hold on, and Dennis can get nothing more. Faces a firing squad as he swings out, and NiP, this map all comes down to a 3-on-3 retake.
Some smokes have also been deployed, so Forest can't even afford to push out. Waiting for his teammates to get in position. Get right, positioned on catwalk. Meanwhile, rotation. Going to be found for Glaive, who's a step ahead of Rez. He's read the script and throws him in the bin. Forest with it all to do, 1-on-2. If he can't pull it off, we're going to round... Oh, it's not going to happen. I was getting ahead of myself. Astralis going to take down a 16-2 map victory.
Yeah, that is a dominant performance and a statement from Astralis. Maybe displeased at how other teams have stepped up and started to win some of the confidence of the fans. But either way, Astralis, that might be, I mean, they're the best team in the world, and even that kind of a domination is surprising. We're going to head to a break. When we come back, we'll have the analysts.
Watch the claws that hold you back. Falling down, you get back up. 'Cause you are own, and you're breaking through your rivals till they know you're a warrior. Walk through fire, try to keep your eyes closed. 'Cause you wanna lie in silver for your own. Don't take liars when they're superimposed. 'Cause they wanna make your dreams on your own. Falling down, you get back up. 'Cause you are own, and you're breaking through your rivals till they know you're a warrior.
Getting a little dark outside and also dark here in the dreams of the ninjas in pajamas. And for everything considered and all of the numbers accounted for, it looks as though roughly 36 minutes exactly is just how long that map took there. Astralis doing it in convincing fashion, and I think a man by the name of Sean Gares coined it just right when he said in a tweet. Good guy Astralis, making sure these 5 individuals in pajamas get to bed at a decent time.
Yeah, that's a nice thing for him to do. We were worried about the T side of Astralis coming into this, right? We were concerned. I guess there's one way to work out not having to play too many T rounds, and that's by getting 15 straight on your CT side. We knew their CT side was good. They haven't actually, been able to solve the factor of, oh, is their T side good or not? Because they only needed to win one round.
Yeah, that was crazy by Astralis. The pace they came out with on the CT side, the aggression they came out with on the CT side, everything just clicked apart.
Yeah, and everything clicking is not going to bode well for anyone stacked up against Astralis. Chad, I know you've got something put together for us. Just go ahead and paint us a picture.
Well, we had Get right, talking about wanting to play aggressive, chaotic Counter-Strike. It was actually the change from Astralis that I really like. Normally, they're very methodical. They take their time. This is a clutch situation from Zipnix where he's hyper-aggressive. We'll start playing this one out. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus here, where Zipnix in transition is going to take a real advantage of this chaotic round. He's going to jump up on the box. He's going to get a free kill in this one. The camera angle is going to change, and now we're going to find ourselves in a position where I just want to pause it right about here. We just missed that flash go off. I want you to focus on this flash coming in from Zipnix. It's landing right here, which has drawn the attention of both of these players to look towards his position, which has given Dupree a chance to swing. He's not going to get a chance to get a kill. He's actually going to fall. But Zipnix just continues to fight. Forrest is low when he goes to plant the bomb, and you can look at the time here. The bomb gets dropped, there's only 20 seconds left on the clock, and he can find himself in a 1v1. We actually can push in, take the fight, forces the last player alive around the box, and this is a perfect duel for a CT. I love this pace coming out from Astralis. Fantastic stuff.
I mean, it's one of the things that makes not only Zipnix but Astralis so dimensional in the way they play. Zipnix is known to be this very how to say it, laid-back player. He waits for the occasion, waits for the right moment to strike, and this time around he's just, as you said, hyper-aggressive, in your face, going for the duels. That is a guy with a lot of confidence playing Counter-Strike right there.
So he's not the first guy at the party, but he's definitely bringing the party, is what you're saying.
Sure.
Well, he's having a party in this one. I got some fun stats, Trace. I don't know if you want to hear about this, but in the entirety of that game, NiP had a total of 36 frags. Magic's Boy and Zipnix combined had 42. Right? That's getting blown out of the water. Also, in the first 8 rounds of the game, it was split 4 for 4 in terms of opening duels. The game ended 13-5 in opening duels in favor of Astralis. So the game started close, but after that, they just got blown out of the water.
completely blown out of the water. They weren't able to do anything against the aggression coming out from Astralis, the individual level as well. They tried to force their way into the B bomb side time and time again, but as you saw, Dupree closed it down, Supnix closed it down, and no matter what NiP tried, they just hit a brick wall.
Yeah, and that wall being Astralis is not looking to let up anytime soon, but if you guys want some numbers, I got some more for you right here. You want to talk about breaking records? Yes, 3 kills on land is nothing exactly, you know, riot about in the streets, or even 3 kills on line. But with those 3 kills by Get Right, he has in fact passed Pasha Biceps in terms of kills online and on land overall.
That's all he needed was those 3.
He's one ahead right now.
Well, I don't know how many more kills he's going to get on the next map, you know, because that was the choice, right? That was the choice of NiP. That was the one weakness that we could see for Astralis, and they didn't even falter at all.
At all. There was no cushion there. There was nowhere for NiP to rest their head throughout the duration of what that domination was on Mirage. We actually had the opportunity to hear from them directly via Frankie, of course. Let's see what they got.
Glaive, an absolutely barnstorming start with your first map, Mirage. Did you have a point to prove after you let that one slip away to Renegades in your last match?
Actually, we really wanted to win that game because we know that we could play a better Mirage than we did against Renegades, even though, once again, we only showed our CT side, so next time, hopefully, we can show the T side.
Are you a little bit annoyed, though, that NiP managed to pull a few rounds back?
No, I'm not annoyed, but I think we should have checked that car position in the pistol round, but still, it's just what happens, right, in the heat of the moment, and yeah, but I'm happy that we won with such a huge lead.
No excuses, Glaive, no excuses. Now we're going into Duster, it's your map pick. What are we going to see?
So yeah, we prepared to play Nuke against NiP because usually they play Nuke against us, and they have permaban as Dust 2. So we expected to play Nuke, so we didn't do much of a game plan against them specifically, but we still have a really good Dust 2. So I hope we'll just play our own game.
And if you don't, then you've got an excuse ready and waiting. Dust 2, it's not really what we usually play. Glaive, I can't wait to see you boys back out there because we need to head back to the desk. I think they've got a few things to discuss.
We do, Frankie. We absolutely do. Quite a few things to discuss, and one of those will be just the elation off of finding 1 round in that matchup for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Now looking ahead into the next map, guys, they've got to just wipe the slate.
Talking about all the holes, right, though, Jacob, in the map pool, and it's Dust 2. It's a map they haven't played since October.
A map they haven't played since October, right? NiP is definitely not putting themselves in a good situation. That said, though, if we have to find something to dig into, last time Astralis did lose a map. It was Dust 2 against Liquid at that iBuy Power tournament.
Sure.
So, yeah, I guess
so you're saying there's a chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
That tournament was more of a circus than a tournament.
Sure.
Yeah, it was. And
I'm trying to be positive. I'm really trying.
I think the history bucks will reflect the circus affair, but also that Astralis can be beaten outside of that tournament. But this is the big stage where you want to do it on. In fact, I think we have something that we can kind of look into when it comes down to Dust 2 in regards of what Astralis is all about, Chad.
Yeah, I had something on the Telstra. I don't know if we have time to pull it up right here. We got 1 minute and 43 seconds according to that clock. Can I do it? Let's do it. All right. So one of the things Astralis does really well on their CT side when they've established their economy is they can get Dupree as a secondary AWP over towards the B bomb site and have 4 players over towards A that you can see right here really getting the dominance on long. We know that long is a pivot point, and Astralis are really good at throwing this into their gameplay. So look out for this, 4 players stacking over towards long, shutting down any aggression coming out of these doors and forcing the Ts to have a different plan of attack.
Now, that plan of attack is going to have to come into the first half. I do believe that it's going to be the Ninjas of Pajamas starting on CT.
Yikes.
Which, how does that bode for us, Jacob?
I mean, at what point do you say to yourself, you're in a quarterfinal at a major, at what point do you tell yourself that we just have to play completely loose? We're facing the best team in the world. We're facing an Astralis that seems unbeatable. Why don't we just try to play a game of puck and see where that leads us? I would do that if I were NiP. I would literally just throw everything they've done, all the preparation they've done, out of the window, see if they can somehow surprise Astralis, see if they can somehow catch them off guard. Because as it is right now, Astralis is simply too good to be played against.
I mean, they're being outclassed, Chad. That's really the easiest way to put it.
Yeah, it's a whole new map, though. We know that these guys have the pedigree to just kind of water off the duck's back type of vibe, but it does seem difficult because we don't know what to expect from NiP right here. We don't know what actually cards they have in their back pocket to pull out. So in terms of the playstyle from them, I can't really give you an idea. We have already spoken about the fact that they have 4 different players who pick up the AWP, and with that in mind, Trace, this is a very AWP-heavy map, so who's going to have it?
Yeah, I think we do have a recipe for a perfect storm right here, but we all cannot dismiss what we just witnessed on the first map of the series. Get Right going to have to step it up in a big way here if he wants to compete with the likes of Astralis, because for what it's worth now, this is the only map left between them and elimination. The Ninjas of Pajamas fans in the crowd now alongside of the Astralis fans. This whole entire bout comes down to what they can do in this map, fellas.
Yeah, this might be the last chance NiP fans have to get loud, so you might want to blow the roof off this one with this last chance, because I feel that Astralis is just on point. I feel like they have something to prove right here with what we just saw on Mirage. I don't think they're going to slow down on Dust 2 at all.
We said it before and we're going to say it again. Res, Dennis, those two players needs to step up right here, right now. If they want to have any chance whatsoever at taking this fight against Astralis, you need your best players to play and perform on the stage. And on the first map, Mirage, yeah, it was a team performance from Astralis. We didn't really get to see anything apart from Res having that one pistol round. We need the best players. We need the best from NiP to come out of them. Otherwise, it's going to be another landslide by Astralis, and nobody wants to see that.
Nobody is in the mood for a landslide, much less a landslide overall, especially here when we're talking about the Ninjas in Pajamas. A pedigree, as Chad said, that could rival the best of the best, and right now they're stacked up against them. Astralis being the big favorite for coming out and coming on top of this entire thing. As the victor, now have to push NiP to the edge again. It's going to be Dust 2 right now in the Spodek. I need you to make some more noise because it is time for the second map of this series. Vince Hill and Jason Moses O'Toole. You do love to hear them, and you're going to be hearing them all map long. Take it away, fellas.
Thank you, Trace. Yes, the second map in this series at NiP, they must get out to a quick start. This is no joke. Astralis, you thought they were good on Mirage, getting out to that 15-0 lead. They are phenomenal on Dust 2 as well, one of the deepest map pools we have in the game. And NiP, this is tournament life on the line.
This is where they need the veterans to stand tall. Lead by example. The good news for NiP at least is they're on the CT side. This is where it didn't really get to see much from them on Mirage. Dust 2, a much more even map, though, it has to be said. You can get a lot of success on the T side of the map. Dennis, in the meanwhile, though, flashbang down into mid, actually hits Mages, but still comes out ahead with the Glock, and that opens up business on Catwalk side. Lekro's about to get tested by multiple Ts, but he's whiffed all his bullets, and it's going to cost him his life. They needed him to hold on desperately.
So many awkward fights for NiP, so many individual awkward fights. First Dennis on Catwalk, Lekro at long with 3 players jumping wildly, difficult targets to hit. And it just snowballed out of control. Everyone from NiP caught out in the open against multiple Astralis members. Rez gonna try and use the planter. He knows where one is, not peeking. Wanted to try and even out the odds a little bit, but now he's stuck in the corner.
An excellent pistol in the first map. Only shining light, but there's too many angles, too many bullets whizzing past his head, and finally one of them will connect. And the Danish demolition crew continue their winning ways. It's another pistol round.
Another pistol in their favor, another victorious start to a second map. They're gonna buy up, perhaps expecting investment from NiP, who is actually not gonna mount any resistance in this round. Just USPs, unarmored opponents. Lekro's gonna be tagged. Small Catwalk stack with 2 players. Get right and Dennis gonna be there, but again, just USP, so even if you get the jump on somebody, no guarantee that weapon is gonna be able to finish off the kills. And a slight opportunity missed and now taken away from them. Magisk and Dupree, 2 quick kills. Lekro getting the dink, but again, the USPs, so it doesn't do much. Not a lot of stopping power on those USPs.
No, like mosquitoes to a windshield. Not too much gonna happen. And only have 2 of them left. The standard issue pistol in play for Forest and Dennis are stacking together at the very least, looking if they can maybe take one of these stray Danes away. But the flashbang going to be preceding Device's push. Isn't going to lose any health at all as he bests Dennis, and the same result for Forest 2. Astralis to a 2-0 lead.
Well, that was pretty quick and clinical. Now we get into the rifles. Now we have the AUGs being brought out on Dennis and Lekro and Rez. M4 on Forest. So they'll be able to mount some defense, missing out on utility. 1 kid on Get Right who's got Smoke Flash, Molotov on Rez, but their utility is nothing to be too happy about. And tough part as well, with only 1 flashbang, not a whole lot of ways to put your teammates in position to be aggressive, and Device is now 2 for 2 on the scout tags crossing mid.
Yeah, that's going to put a couple players in the range now with the UMPs as well, up close. Molotov onto Catwalk. Just trying to buy up a little bit of time to maneuver through the tunnels. Another one on mids. They're not pushing behind this though, Astralis. There's only 1 smoke left already for NiP though, and a flashbang. so little to fend them off, and they've thrown the smoke on short. It's going to be a B hit. Can Rez hold on with the Orc? So far, so good. He's got one, but he's dropped to 24, and Magisk will finish off the rest. Double entries onto B, and that should be the round following.
It's so tough when you're in that position and you get the one kill as Rez, but the Molotov is really restricting your movement, and it's a perfect for Magisk, who knows exactly where to aim as he swings wide. Astralis, patient enough, as you mentioned, to just run the utility, the counter utility low, and NiP have nothing to break that hit up. It had to have been brute force. And Magisk going to continue his tear from that first map. Saves coming out from these last 3 NiP members. They can still buy up around this, maybe a half investment from Rez and Dennis. They won't be able to have rifles, but that is, assuming that these rifles stay in the hands of NiP to the end of this round. Get Right even going to get a more passive angle. And Astralis not too dedicated to the hunt. They were hoping they'd find someone in T-spawn. Glaive is going to be pushing around at Get Right. No reason to take that fight. You can see he's just getting deeper and deeper into cover. So they do bring 3 rifles forward. Oh, he was dinked pretty quickly. There we go, a follow-up. And Magisk, with 2 kills, pretty much seals the round. That B bomb site is so difficult to retake, especially as NiP just didn't have the nades to do it in that round.
Yeah, just the one kit as well, and a bit of low health. Understand why they pulled the plug. They are going to get some weapons behind the saved guns, but it's going to be a scout, and Lekro's already been found. Dennis at least going to get a kill back with a Molotov. So
They had to have that evening kill. They needed to find that frag.
Ends a bit of a stalemate on long, but Magisk has now opened his account once more. The player that was reaping kills left and right in the first map is maybe going to pick up 2 in this. Forrest says no. Slaps him down. Going to be tested again. Flashbang has cleared. Forrest comes out. That's what NiP are looking for. They need Forrest to shine. Bomb's been dropped pre-fire. Not quite enough to claim Glaive, but Forrest, 3 separate duels going his way. And NiP finally has something to cheer about.
That was all on Forrest. He was exposed from middle as well. If Astralis had been aggressive there, even when he gets that kill on Magisk, still has to hold on for so long. Those are the fights that he's going to love. Those short to mid-range fights, one-on-one, no chance of trades, which is rare to see out of Astralis, and Forrest makes the most of that chance. But now they must build upon it. Gonna reset that losing bonus. They must win this round. And Device has the AWP in his hands.
Oh, and Forrest has been smacked up down to 13. Gonna put him on the back foot. He is one of the B players. Get Right, meanwhile, trying to apply some pressure on long.
And he's the only one there. Dennis and Lekro are both playing catwalk, and Lekro's pretty aggressive. He's actually, with a little bit of pressure from Astralis by nades, he's just going to drop back, but he needs to stay at the same bomb site. Dennis is going to need help because Get Right, he's sliding back, but that really weakens his ability to hold long. If Zitmix is aggressive at all and is able to get out, he has a great angle. Now they retake long. Now Astralis, with all that pressure on towards Cat, could fall into a bit B split. There's so many options available to them now. And utility again running low. Lekro's got a Molotov, and that might be exactly what they need to stop a catwalk hit if it comes in.
Has been used, but there's still 50 seconds. That Molotov's not going to last long. Astralis still have plenty of grenades. 4 Molotovs, pardon me, and smokes behind it. This is looking dire for NiP. The only good news is time is starting to dwindle. They're going to have to play off that. They need kills to come in right here, right now. And the smoke's been deployed to CT. It's now a 2-angled attack, and Glaive is the first to strike. It's going to be going all the way of the Danes. Get Right can maybe hold the line. All by his lonesome. Does get the first, looking for a second. Picks that up too. Is still alive for a few more moments. Has he stalled long enough for the rest of NiP to get close? I don't think they're going to go for this. Forrest only has 13 health, and Rez with no grenades. A valiant attempt by Get Right, but I don't think it's going to yield the round.
No, it's not. Mostly because Force just doesn't have the HP to even come and try and fight for this. They have to back away. That's a beautiful hit from Astralis. That smoke on the long corner as well. Even though Get Right's rotating back, he doesn't have an angle to assist his teammates and to cover them. Astralis able to get in with ease. Opening 2 kills. If Get Right had gotten that 3rd frag, he does dink Magisk. That might have been the one needed to prompt Rez and Force to go for it, just not enough. A 4th round now for the offense. money on NiP not looking great. Get Right can still buy an Augur and M4 with armor, so they might actually invest around this. It wouldn't be the worst decision in the world.
Especially as the alternative would be tapping out, allowing Astralis to get even more of a stranglehold. We saw what they did on Mirage. Given an opportunity, they ran with it. So NiP will be force buying. Here is the play as it unfolded. It looked like it could be Get Right to dig them out of the ditch, but not quite. Let's move through to round 6 then. Device still has his AWP. And Glaive making inroads out on long. NiP haven't been able to really cover this too well. They've had a couple of avenge kills, but not much else going their way when it came to long array side. Already so much ground has been taken here, Jason. Molotov's whiff though.
Yeah, no one's there at car, so shouldn't be too much of a danger for Astralis, but here we go. The desk highlighted this exact play. 4 players out long for Astralis, Dupree waiting in upper dark. Over towards that B bomb site. Glaive actually going to fall back. And Astralis at the moment content to have control of long. It's a lot of time that Device has to peer up into this A bomb site. Dennis going to go for the peek now, just as Device gives up the angle. Maybe unfortunate timing, but this is a defense of the A site that's really consolidated on Catwalk.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was off the back of the smoke on Xbox. They're not sure if they were pushing up mid. Get Right's been forced out. Dennis, with just a scout in his hands, he's going to need to land headshots, going to need to perforate. And Dennis is going to go down without much of a fight alongside Lekro. Rotation from Get Right into long, but the battle has been lost on A. Get Right may get the better of Device, but doesn't want to overextend. They need to hold on to these guns.
You have to imagine Astralis knows the money situation so well and just says, okay, the 2 B players saved their guns, so let's not even mess with them. Let's not even go to that side of the map. Let's attack long where we know they've been weakened, where even if they are able to buy or drop some guns over, there might not be the nades to stop this. And obviously going up against a scout and a pistol, NiP has only one real option left when those 2 players go down. Astralis really exploiting the economy of NiP at this point.
Having a bit of fun in their downtime, allowing NiP to survive.
One of the few teams who is allowed to kind of sit back and have a little bit of fun in their quarterfinal matchup.
So NiP with another save. Can they feasibly go for anything? Not really. They could drop a couple of guns again, but they've never really had a strong hold of their economy on this half. Looks like they are going to be tapping out of this one. So just the 2 nades to play with. They do have some firepower, but Astralis have been choking them time and time again.
And this time, Force and Rez play over towards long. Exactly where Astralis attacked last time, but Astralis have changed up their point of attack. Again, this 3-man thrust manages Dupree and Device, with Device providing cover with that AWP. They're going to find Lekro with just a USP. Get Right's going to be there, but he's out of the double doors. He can't fight for this. His teammate has gone down too fast, and that's going to be frustrating for Lekro and frustrating for NiP. Trying to shuffle and change this defensive look so they can have their weapons to properly defend, and Astralis has the perfect call for it. Get Right, gonna try and do some sneaky plays. It's not gonna work. Dupree looking for just that. Astralis have everything covered.
Red's gonna find Glaive, but there is so much money. It's gonna be easy to replenish that fallen gun. It was worth the pursuit of taking a rifle away from NiP. Meanwhile, that does put an AK in Dennis's hands, but Astralis, they're gonna be 6-1 in the lead.
And when you got battered on the first map and you're starting to get pretty battered here on Dust 2, at least to open things up in the first stages of this half, even just saving an AK-47 isn't going to make you very happy. Astralis now have the money saved up to actually go for some of these guns. Zipnik's going to lead the way. Great pop flash from from Zipnik's teammate to get Rez. I don't think it necessarily blinded him, but it made him look away. Force muscled onto this AWP, spamming through. Somehow he's dodging those bullets. And there's the timer right at the end. The AWP and the AK-47 brought into the next round, and NiP must buy here, and they must start mounting a defense.
Yeah, they played passively in the last round. It has to pay off for them now. way more grenades. It's been a consistent pain in the backside for the Swedes. What can they do with it, though? They're tossing a lot of these grenades out early on. Katowice not able to consistently tag through the doors. He was doing it with the scout, but not the AWP.
So Dennis close up to provide cover for Force with that AWP, who you would imagine is going to stay aggressive and try and find a pick towards top mid or at those double doors, but the flashbangs are just too good. Dennis completely blind, and now he can't go for the retake, but he throws out his own flashbang that actually pulls Device off, and Device didn't see that one. Force trying to step up, trying to remain aggressive and have an impact. He's at least brought this into a 4-on-4, but he wants another one. It's not going to happen.
Very risky play there, Moses.
That might be a sign of desperation of when you're trying to do a little bit too much because you can just feel like you need something. And it's hard to blame him after that first map. There's Lekro.
Oh dear. From bad to worse for NiP. Get right and Rez. Gonna have to stand very tall and deliver something special if they're gonna pick up their second round here.
Magis to the B-bomb side. He's gonna get a free kill onto Rez. He's stuck in that whole time. It's just Get Right. 13 HP, which you don't like to see, but he's got the bomb down. And he's doing what he believes will be the last thing they expect. Get aggressive through those mid doors, but there's so much time for Astralis to work with.
And Zipnik's had him dead to rights. If he just comes around this corner, Get Right's going to be looking towards the left side of mid. Finds him, frags him. Astralis 7-1. Commanding lead once again. And that was the round that we were putting a lot of emphasis on because NiP finally get themselves a solid buy, and it's just the same result.
There's a bomb on that chicken.
Who was it yesterday that kept wrecking? Oh, it was Nitro, wasn't it? Just kept knifing all the chickens.
Yes, he was.
And they lost. So there's a
little bit of chicken karma in there for you?
Yeah.
Well, now all the advantages for Astralis. A nade stack in the long cave, and Device is going to find Get Right just as the smoke and shrapnel fades. And Astralis starting to pick up the pace, feeling comfortable. Molotov, and of course that Deagle to fight in an awkward position, and A is open. One more player at long, two players rotating away from B, but Astralis, no matter where they've gone, no matter what it's been up against, they've pretty much gotten everything they wanted.
Now Crow's going to be able to get two, though, from the side of long. Neither of Astralis were checking that out. Now is not the time to take your foot off the gas. But Lekro going to meet Zipnix, who's always focused, always concentrating. Rez with his Desert Eagles to try and pick up the slack. Same fate.
Well, here we go. Another buy for NiP. They didn't invest a whole lot just so they could have the benefit of the losing bonus so they can get this double op setup. Lekro and Forest. And this feels like their last chance. This switch up into this defense, this is so important if NiP want to make a comeback. Katowice, does anyone still believe in NiP magic?
Well, Forrest certainly does. He's opened up the round and lands onto Glaive. So early damage, certainly in favor of the Swedes, but can they capitalize? It's consistent theme, the same on Mirage. They get the first pick and it just slips away. They need to grab onto this with both hands.
The nice thing, obviously, that follow-up tag from Forrest. Glaive down so low, he might be forced to chill a little bit, and Forrest doing it all. Remember, he's responsible for their single round win as well. And now the AWP is ringing true, and he's being very aggressive and very mobile on this map, trying to rotate into the point of contacts. The double AWP's now working wonders as Lekro adds on top of it.
As finds Glaive. Is it going to be the clean sweep? Build a bit of confidence. Yes, it is. NiP, welcome back.
3 kills for the 2 AWPs they picked up. That's brilliant. And all 5 players surviving, that's even more so. Something perhaps for NiP to build upon. They hadn't gone for those aggressive peaks this whole half, and Forrest is going to get some nice ones.
It's a kind of clean round that can build confidence to it, can inspire.
It can open up the playbook as well if they choose to be aggressive, but with this double op, you still want the ops to be The first thing making contact for NiP. Dennis around the edge of the smoke. He's got to be careful. They're spamming through. A counter flash comes out. He's going to go right back in. That flashbang blinds Get Right, but allows him to get position. They're taking so much damage, but they're winning these fights until just now. Get Right, the last man standing. Magisk was burning. He puts out a smoke. There's no one to help Get Right. He's all on his own, and he missed a chance for one more. Magisk has to let Device take control of this situation. He's still holding on to Pit.
Get Right's going to take the initiative, change his position. Still 75 health, so he's got plenty of HP in his back pocket to try and trade off against these two players. But Astralis realizing that it's a 3-on-3 and there's still plenty of the map at their disposal, going to back the bomb out of there, leaving Magisk all alone. This could catch Get Right off guard. I believe he heard the footsteps. There's the flashbang. So well played from Astralis. Gives them the player advantage, and NiP on the back foot once again.
Oh dear, Rez. He might want to fall back. He's going to go for the fight. He finds Dupree. That play from Astralis, leaving Magisk at long, falling back and tossing the flashbang from Device. That might have been one of the most beautiful plays I've seen in any of these quarterfinals. That is so smart from Astralis. Rez needs to hold on to the B bomb site, but he's only got Device to challenge him, and that's a nasty angle for the AUG. Magisk with low HP. He was hoping Device could open things up. He's going to grab an AK-47 and go for it, but it looks like NiP is going to get up to 3 rounds on Dust 2. The footsteps have been heard. The utility gives it away even more. And he's not even going to check the car. Rez, 3 kills in the round, and NiP a little bit more hope building.
It's 2 in a row, additionally, for NiP, and that's going to put Astralis into a bit of a sticky situation. Device down to 3.5k, everyone else can afford. This is where they can start to break that economy down into bite-sized pieces. Landing shots that previously they wouldn't have. Another timeout has been called.
This timeout for Astralis, I don't think they're necessarily feeling nervous in any way, but this is the last buy, or they're getting pretty much down to that last investment area. 3 players below at $300 or less. Some players missing nades, so they just want to make sure they go over it, see if they can win one to continue buying. I don't think they've had to save in this series yet.
Wasn't far off there, Dupree. It would have been a brutal start to the round. I believe it was Forrest that was peeking with his AWP. Flashbang neutralizing Get Right's vision. Didn't see Glaive hop across.
I think Glaive saw him, though.
He did, absolutely. Hence the Molotov. But the head now going to be sticking over the top. Get Right's going to counteract with a molly of his own. Also the smoke behind, but could stick around. Try and play some mind games. Decides better of it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to mess with that fight. A lot of pressure applied to Get Right in an awkward scenario, and he knew he just didn't have the advantage. Preserves the 5 versus 5. These ops, though, Rez in the back of B. Lekro with 1, now going to watch Catwalk as Get Right shifts towards long, but the battle at the moment is all in mid. Flashbang's being used just to give the Alpers the advantage, and it looked like Forrest had it. Missed shot, he's going to get legged in return.